when it comes to building muscle over the age of 40, I think it's actually better.
Hi, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and let's talk about why I think that squats, leg press, and lunges build our leg muscles differently after the age of 40. Now, two of those exercises we can do at home pretty much just as good as we can do them at the gym, but the leg presses actually require a machine that's only found at the gym. So we won't be able to do leg presses here at home, but I'm going to show you how to do squats and lunges at home. And I'm going to give you some alternatives on how to do them if you've got bad knees or bad hips or ankles, all right? The thing about these three exercises is they're so important that I don't want you to give up on them altogether just because you've got injuries or you got bad joints and you're getting older. I would rather you modify these exercises and keep them in your workout program than to just give up altogether. And there's three reasons for that. The first reason is these are big compound movements. We're using multiple muscle groups, multiple joints at the same time, and that helps with your overall body strength, your balance, and your coordination. And number two, when we're doing these movements, you're incorporating and calling on so many different muscles at the same time. These are the biggest muscle groups in your entire body. And when you do that and when you push yourself hard, it actually sends signals to your brain to ramp up production of testosterone. And then the third and final reason is they are great for building and maintaining your bone density. So, you don't want to break a bone just because you tripped and fell, all right? That happens to people all the time as we get older. It's amazing to me. As a matter of fact, my cameraman's wife was tripped and fell on the ice just a month ago here in Dallas. And she broke her tibia in 3 places, and she broke her ankle so bad she had to have surgery. Problem is she's in her early 50s and she doesn't lift weights, all right? She's behind a computer all the time, or she's in an office talking to patients. And man, I don't want that to happen to you. I think if you continue to do these 3 exercises, these big compound exercises, and push yourself, it will literally increase your bone density and strength, and it will minimize the chances of you breaking a bone as you get older. All right, so let's start off with basically the king of all lower body exercises, and that's the squat. Now guys, as we get older, and like I mentioned before, I understand a lot of people have got knee problems, hip problems, things like that. Doesn't mean you can't still do squats, all right? We just got to be a little smarter about it. So the first thing is you need to figure out what your body will allow you to do, okay? And so just start with doing body weight squats. No extra weights, no dumbbells, no barbells, no sandbags, no nothing, okay? So, this is basically the starting position of a squat right here, just standing straight up with your feet kind of a little wider than shoulder apart, and my toes are pointed out slightly. And the first thing you do in a squat is you don't bend over like this. The first thing you do is look straight ahead and stick your butt out. So that's all I do to start a squat. So I'm here and I go squat, butt goes out, and then everything else just kind of takes care of itself. Now, how deep can you go? All right, I'm lucky, my knees still feel pretty good. So I can go butt out and I can come down, and see how my elbows are down below my thighs. This is about full range of motion for me. Okay, that's pretty deep. So straight back up, butt out. All right. Now, just doing my body weight only, I'd have to do 100 of these things, okay? So I'd get out of breath long before my muscles gave out. So a good way to increase the resistance for you guys is do a goblet squat. If you have a bad lower back, putting a barbell over your head or holding multiple dumbbells on your side, all right, will put a lot of stress on those bad discs, all right? But if you have the weight out in front of you in a goblet style, you're gonna take a lot of the weight off of your lower back. It won't bother you nearly as bad. And now it's just your knees and your hips that are the deciding factors on how deep you can go. Now, for you guys that can't go that deep, that's fine. Listen to your body, okay? So you're going to here and you're like, oh boy, it starts to hurt. Okay, stop there. Back up. Go down until it starts to hurt and then come back up. And because you're not doing full range of motion, you need to try to make the exercise a little more difficult, okay? So this is how I would do it. You can only go to here, hold it, 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. You might add a heavier dumbbell, or you might hold it longer at that bottom point for maybe say a 5 count before you come up. So you're still getting most of the benefits from the squat, even though you're not going all the way down. So full range of motion is always the best, but you can still get a lot out of it if you just listen to your body and push yourself to the point where it starts to hurt a little bit, all right? Don't stop so shallow that you feel no pain, all right? You need to push yourself. Now, the other good news is, guys, a lot of people have just given up on these types of exercises because of their knees, all right? I've had dozens, if not hundreds of men email me and tell me that after doing leg exercises for the first time in years because of pain in their knees, that after forcing themselves to do it, their knees actually started feeling better. Whether it was arthritis or old injuries, just working the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments over the course of several months made the joint strong enough that it actually hurt less. They actually improved their joint health over the long run. And that's a great thing. And not everybody's going to experience that, but enough people do experience that I say you need to push yourself. I don't care if you haven't done them in years. So before I move away from squats and on to the other exercises, I want to give you one other thing to try here with a squat. And like I said, it's going to affect everybody different because everybody's got different knee problems and hip problems and ankle problems. Try this with a squat. Get you a chair, and you got to stand kind of a long way away from it. You know, if you're standing close like this, it's not going to work, okay? So way away, you're going to lean forward, kind of put your hands on it, and basically the chair is going to kind of stabilize your upper body and your balance. And now your butt is already sticking out. You're already in the beginning position. Now you're just going to bend your knees and go down as deep as you can. Of course, I can come way down now. Now, when I come down here, see, my ankles won't bend anymore. My heels come off the ground. That's okay. And now I come back up. Now, I'm showing you this mainly for the guys with the bad knees and bad back, okay? So you're going to be able to come down to about here maybe, and that might be all you can do before the pain really just gets too severe, okay? Good, that's fine. Come back up. You've got to start somewhere, guys. Back up. Now, when you're doing this, all right, you're doing a lot more than just hitting your quads. You're going to feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes. And remember, this is a compound exercise. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you're incorporating multiple muscle groups at the same time. And this is going to do way, way more for you than you think, because the guys that are doing it this way haven't probably done any leg exercises in years because your knees hurt, all right? So you do this for a while, it starts to feel better, your knees don't hurt quite as much and becomes a little too easy, right? Then you can put a backpack on and add a little weight to it, do this, and eventually you graduate to doing the goblet squats with no chair. Simple as that. All right, let's move on to the second exercise that we can do at home. It doesn't require any gym equipment, and that is a lunge. And I have a lot of guys complaining about not being able to do lunges because of their knees, all right? So normally we can either do walking lunges or we do alternating lunges where we're just kind of bouncing from side to side. And I get it, a lot of guys can't do this because of their knees. So let me give you a couple alternatives to see if you guys with the bad knees can do it. These are called pulsing lunges. All right, so you get into the lunge position. I got a nice long stance, and remember, I want to show you something. Don't step straight ahead. See how narrow my stance is here from side to side? I don't have a lot of good balance from side to side. So you have a wider stance this way and a long stance this way. All right, so here I am, my lunge position, and when I say pulse, you're just going straight up and down like this. So you might do 10 on one leg. All right, stop, catch your breath for a second, then move over and do 10 pulses on the other leg. All right, so you're not pushing back and forth all the time. You're just kind of staying on one side. All right, now you don't have to go all the way down. And when I say all the way down, I mean your back knee goes all the way down until it touches the ground. You don't have to go that deep. All right, you may just go to here. And I know it looks like I'm not doing much. Okay, I get it. But if your knees are bad, it means you probably haven't done any leg exercises in years, and you're gonna be surprised at how sore your leg muscles get over the next few days, just from doing pulse lunges like this. Now, another way you can do it, especially if you're having problems with your balance, all right, chair. My right side is forward with my left hand on the chair. And once again, we're just doing pulse lunges. Now, let's say this is as deep as you can go, but it's too easy. Your body weight isn't enough. Just grab a dumbbell. Okay, here we go. Starting position, pulse lunges. All right, change it up. Other side, left foot forward, pulse. Now, I can go all the way down where my back knee touches the ground, but if you can't, that's fine. And make the exercise more difficult just by going slow and going down till your front knee starts to hurt. Can't go any deeper. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. So you just do more time under tension because your range of motion is so limited. You're gonna feel it in your quads and your glutes, and to a lesser extent, your hamstrings. But please, guys, don't just give up. Do what you can. All right, so guys, I'll show you some, exercises you could do at home. All right, the lunges and the squats, but there's no way to do a leg press movement at home. You need a big old machine like this at the gym. All right, these are fantastic, and one of the really good things about it is that it takes the weight and stress off of your lower back. You don't have any heavy weight compressing your spine when you do this machine. And it also stabilizes your body. And it might be a great option for guys with bad knees. Got to give it a try. Let me just kind of go through it real quick and explain what I think is good about it and why I think it might actually work for you guys that can't do squats at home. All right, guys, it's a real straightforward exercise. All right. Now, the nice thing is there's nothing to think about or worry about when it comes to form. I don't have to worry about keeping my back straight or pushing my butt out at the beginning of a squat movement. All right. I'm right here and I just start letting the weight down. All right. Now, full range of motion is the best for building muscle. All right. And so I love coming down and getting really deep. This is about as deep as I can go. Now, it's not bothering my knees. My hips are fine. And it's putting no stress on my discs in my lower back. Hero. Okay. Now, I want you guys with bad knees to at least give this a try. Okay. And
Listen to your body. If you can only go down to here and your knees start hurting you, okay, go down to here. Just make sure that you're doing real slow, controlled movement because you're not getting the same range of motion. So a lot of the benefit is the deep part down here, okay, that full strength. But if your knees are bad, you may not be able to do that, all right? So start with the range of motion that you can handle, guys, and a weight that you can handle, and just focus on doing high rep counts. You do enough reps like this and do it nice and slow, you're going to really start feeling that burn in your legs. That's the lactic acid buildup, okay? So great movement for guys with injuries, bad backs, bad knees. You got to give this a try. Let me show you another exercise. All right, so guys, I just wanted to show you one other leg press machine at the gym, all right? A lot of guys think of that other one, the first one I showed you with the weights you put on as a leg press, but this is also a leg press machine. You just select the weight in the stack over here, okay? And there's one other big difference, okay? Now remember, you can put your feet at different heights on the platform here, but you're still pressing like, you know, the traditional movement here. The nice thing about this one is when you're at full range of motion down here, the weight stack bottoms out. And so if your knees are hurting it, all right, and you can't do anymore, you just go like that. If I was on the other machine and I let the platform come all the way down and my knees really started hurting and I couldn't push up, I'm stuck with all that weight pushing down on me. On this machine, let's say you got a lot of weight and you're pushing yourself really hard and you've done 20 reps, okay? And you're on the last rep and this is going to be number 20. You can't get it up. Okay. You just stop. You don't, if you're on the other machine and you're at the bottom of the movement, you have no choice but to get that last rep, the 20th rep, back up into place and then lock the handles out. This is actually kind of a safer version of the leg press machine. And I think it's just as good as the other one where you add the weights or the plates to the machine. So, you know, there's just so many options at the gym. And this machine probably costs these guys $8,000 or $9,000. So you can't replicate this at home. And that's why I say that for these big muscle groups, you'd have so many more options at the gym than you do at home. You could still get in, you know, your leg workout at home, but when it comes to building muscle over the age of 40, I think it's actually better to have a gym membership because these machines actually make it safer for you guys with bad backs and bad knees. So there you go, guys. I mean, 3 different exercises to build your legs over the age of 40. You can do them at home. You can do them at the gym. I do give the gym a big thumbs up, a win, definitely. And when it comes to big muscle groups, compound exercises. And that's why I say, guys, it's worth getting a gym membership. And then finally, can't build big legs unless you stick with it and never give up on yourself.